Alright guys, we're back with another one, and this is my review of the HP Spectre Packard. You can see it right there. No HP logo, it just says Hewlett Packard. It's a metal design, really dense and heavy. I'm very nervous holding it right now. 2 hinges, Hewlett Packard logo right there. You have vents here to cool it down. It's sitting on 4 feet. And you can see the speakers right here at the bottom. Really dense device. And stiff, because you can't open this with one hand. You need 2 hands to open this up. You got a 13.3 inch Quad HD display, 2560 by 1440 display. Black bezels in glass. Hewlett Packard logo, Bang & Olufsen speakers, which you would think Bang & Olufsen speakers right there, it would be coming from the keyboard, but it's coming from underneath. Nice keyboard layout. The lights look pretty good. We're gonna take a look at that. It says Spectre right here, Intel Core i7, and it has a very huge trackpad. So let's take a look at the ports. Real interesting here because this is a touchscreen, a convertible device. You have volume keys right here. You have a Windows key right there. You have HDMI port, and you have the USB 3 ports, and you have a headphone jack. And you also have a mini port right here. Another USB port. You have vents here on this side. This is where you plug in to charge, and you have a full SD card slot. Really thin towards the front of the device. It gets a little thicker towards the back. And like I said, this is a pretty heavy device. Now, you can feel it has some texture. The Hewlett Packard branding is a little raised, so you got to be careful of that. But it feels real good. Now it can catch fingerprints. Alright, so the HP Spectre is rocking a Intel i7 2.5 gigahertz quad-core processor, 256 SSD, 8 gigs of RAM, and 2 USB 2 ports with 1 USB 3 port. But 8 gigs of RAM, 256 SSD, and this i7 processor is running. This is a very good performing laptop computer. It just works. Now, what I find about it, the hinge is tight, but it's still wobbly when you're using it as a touchscreen. Now you can convert this into tablet form. So when you put it in tablet mode, you can have it in this type of presentation mode, or you can also put it in full tablet form and just use it as a touchscreen, whether it's landscape, or you can have it in portrait mode as well. Of course, the computer's always asking you, do you want it in tablet mode, do you want it in portrait mode? It's always asking you. It's not automatically switching on unless you set it up that way, as you can see right there. So have Cortana all built in, so Cortana is waiting for your commands, and it just works. So when we talk about the screen is a 1440p screen. It really looks good. I wouldn't call it a 2K display. I would just call it Ultra HD. Looks it's a high res screen. It looks good. It's up there with anything else. It has a good pixel ratio, good color representation. It's definitely up to par. It's a nice screen. Now when you're talking about the keyboard, so the keyboard, it has good bounce back. It's not noisy at all. It's a very quiet keyboard. It feels good. It has a long, it's not a short keyboard. When you press it, it's pretty deep, and it has a good jump back, which I like. So the keyboard, I would definitely give it an A. It's really good. keyboard is a go, no problems at all. Now, when it comes to the trackpad, this is a long surface trackpad. So if you like this type of style of trackpad, that's a plus. And I won't see how it's a negative. It's a long trackpad. You have a lot of travel. It feels good. It almost feels, a matter of fact, it is a glass trackpad. It really feels very nice. It has a little bit of feel to it, which I do like. I find it to be very comfortable. Nice trackpad. So HP Spectre is a nice convertible laptop. Somewhere in the basis of around $1,000 you can get yourself a good HP laptop. i7 processor is running. The 8 gigs of RAM is definitely enough. If you really want to use the pen instead of using your finger, you have to be pretty precise with it. You can see right here, did a little drawing. If you really press at it hard, I would definitely recommend you go and hold the screen. So you basically got to use two hands because the hinge is a little wobbly, especially when you're using it for a while. But you could always lay it down and put it in a tablet mode and you'll be able to use this pen with no issues. So the pen is a plus, a added bonus, especially if you want to do drawings or anything like that. You just have to adjust it in the settings depending on how sensitive you want the pencil or pen to actually be. Alright, so I'm going to run a Google Octane, but while we run the Octane score, let's go into the battery life. You can honestly get some pretty good battery life with this HP Spectre 360. Bottom line, this is from 2016. This is a new model. I might have said earlier 2015, but this is a 2016 model. But HP has already done some updates to the Spectre. So you may not find this i7 processor, you may find the M7. And HP is saying you're gonna get 11 hours of battery. Under moderate use, we've gotten pretty much around 9 hours with moderate use here and there, keeping the brightness a little bit dim. Under heavy use, watching a lot of videos, having a lot of tabs open, multitasking, just doing a lot of work with the brightness at about medium or a little bit higher, you could say about 5 hours of battery life. But that's under some crazy usage. We're talking about what we put this HP Spectre through. It has its task and it's also an entertainment device, but it's a workhorse, and we've been putting it through the work. It has Norton inside, so that's why the score of 29,033 is a little bit lower than what I would normally expect, because I'm gonna give that to Norton. Norton's running in the background, but this is not bad. This is a real exceptional score when it comes to Octane. It's a pretty good score. So the speed is there. 8 gigs of RAM is enough. We haven't had any hiccups, any stutters with anything that we've been running. This is basically a device that's helping with stock and trade. So it works. Windows 10 device that you can use as a tablet, you can use it for presentations, you can use it as a workhorse, and it's also a family entertainment device as well. It's definitely great. So pretty much with that, we're gonna go into the sound test. 50%. 100% coming up. So when it comes to the speakers, even though they're underneath, and if you have the laptop in your lap, you might be drowning out some of the sound. But other than that, Bang & Olufsen did a pretty good job. The quality is there. They sound pretty loud. This webcam. This is a average webcam, 480p. You would expect with a high-end i7 processor device, you would expect an at least 720p in HD webcam, but you got 480p here. Here we have it. This is a Spectre 2016 device. It has all the specs you need. It is up to par with everything else out there in the market. It just works. So pretty much with that, I definitely recommend this is something you can pick up if you can find it. If you can find it, the price is right. I'm going to put all the best prices that I can find in this device in the description. But other than that, it's a pretty good device. Windows 10 operate pretty nice. I say it's a definite buy. Pretty much with that, we'll see you in the next one. This is my last word review on the HP Spectre 13 360.